I mean, it's easy to blame God for our own fearfulness and indecision. And you say, God should show me clearly and unambiguously exactly what it is that I'm supposed to do. Nonsense. God created us as in His image and likeness to participate in His capacity of reason and reflection and judgment and moral maturity to accept the consequences of our judgments. So the word responsibility, the ability to be responsive to what the indicators are in our lives. I mean, whether it's marriage or whether it's a discernment of a vocation to the priesthood or to the consecrated life or any other life-forming, life-constituting decision, has about it a quality of risk, of, again, adventure, in which there are no guarantees, in which finally the judgment will be, were we listening, were we alert to the signs, to the signals, which come from all kinds of directions. But, there's a marvelous thing, the courage that is required to make decisions and to accept responsibility for the decisions we make is exemplified so powerfully, I think, in 1 Corinthians 4, when St. Paul is talking about his own life and what he's done with his life. And if you may remember the Corinthians, sometimes people say we should return to the purity and simplicity and loveliness of the early Christian church. Well, all you have to do is read the letters to the Corinthians, for example, and you see what a difficult bunch of people these were. And, contentious, and there were factions and rivalries. And in any case, St. Paul is explaining himself to the Corinthians and about his being an apostle and how he's called and so forth. And then he says in 1 Corinthians 4, he says, I hope now you think better of me than you did before. He said, but I want you to know something. It is a small thing that I be judged by you. Indeed, I do not even judge myself. Let no man judge before the time. This is a declaration of freedom. He does not even judge himself. Who knows? Maybe he did this wrong and that wrong and misunderstood this or whatever. Whose judgment matters? The judgment of God. Let no one judge before the time. Where we've all made a mess of our lives. We've all bungled an awful lot of things. That's why we have confession and the grace of absolution. And we know that. I mean, the great freedom of being a Catholic Christian is that you don't have to pretend that you're not a sinner, It's a wonderful thing to be freed from having to defend yourself on every score. You can just simply say, look, I really messed up big time.